In one corner, you have Western parenting. Think of it like building with Legos. You get a box of pieces, and the goal is to help your kid build their own unique, independent, hopefully not a disaster creation. It's all about self-expression, finding your own path, and maybe, just maybe, becoming a tech billionaire who can buy your parents a nice house. The entire system is geared toward creating a self-sufficient individual who can stand on their own 2 feet, make their own choices, and confidently tell their therapist all about it later. Then, you hop on a plane, and you land in Somalia. The parenting philosophy here is less like individual Legos, and more like a beautifully woven tapestry. You're not just a single thread, you're part of a larger picture connected to everyone around you. Raising a child isn't a 2-person job for mom and dad. Oh no, it's a community project. Your auntie, your uncle, the neighbor from 3 doors down who saw you climbing a tree you shouldn't have been climbing, they all have a say. The goal isn't just to raise a successful individual, but to raise a respectful, responsible member of the community who upholds tradition, honors their elders, and understands their place within the whole. Now imagine taking that beautiful, tightly woven tapestry and trying to hang it in a modern art gallery that only displays single, abstract sculptures. That's the feeling many Somali families get when they move to the West. Suddenly, the village that was supposed to help raise their child is gone. The neighbor who calls to complain about the noise isn't offering to help discipline your kid. They're threatening to call the authorities. In the West, we love the idea of the individual. From a very young age, kids are asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up? What's your favorite color? What are your feelings telling you?" It's all about nurturing that little flame of individuality until it becomes a roaring bonfire of selfhood. Parents are encouraged to give their children choices, to validate their emotions, and to foster independence. Contrast that with the Somali approach, where the central value is not me, but we. The community, or bulshada, is everything. A child is not just their parents' child. They belong to the clan, the extended family, the entire neighborhood. Respect for elders isn't just a nice suggestion. It's the bedrock of society. You don't talk back to your elders. You listen when they speak. You serve them first. This fundamental difference creates a fascinating clash of expectations. A Western teacher might praise a child for confidently questioning a lesson, seeing it as critical thinking. A Somali parent might see that same behavior as disrespectful. They might wonder why the teacher is encouraging their child to challenge authority instead of listening obediently. Similarly, a Western parent might worry if their teenager isn't showing enough independence, while a Somali parent might be proud that their son or daughter still lives at home, contributing to the family and caring for younger siblings. Discipline. The fun part of parenting, right? In the West, discipline has become a science. We have gentle parenting, positive reinforcement, timeouts, and the dreaded removal of screen time. The idea is to correct the behavior without crushing the child's spirit. You explain why what they did was wrong. When you drew on the wall with a permanent marker, it made mommy feel sad because now we have to repaint. It's a conversation. Now, let's step into a Somali household. Discipline is often swift and direct and a community affair. You don't need a long conversation about mommy's feelings when you have the look. Every person who grew up in an African household knows the look. It's a silent, laser-focused glare from a parent or elder that communicates disappointment, warning, and consequences all in one go. It can stop a child in their tracks from 50 paces away. The authority structure is also completely different. In a typical Western family, decisions are increasingly democratic. Parents might hold a family meeting to decide on a vacation spot. Teenagers negotiate rules. In a Somali family, the structure is hierarchical and crystal clear. The father is generally the head of the household, but above him are the elders of the extended family. A grandfather's or uncle's word carries immense weight. This is where Somali families moving to the West face a massive challenge. The disciplinary methods that were normal back home can be seen as harsh or even illegal in countries like the United States or the United Kingdom. When it comes to education, both cultures agree on one thing: it's important. But how they see it and support it can be worlds apart. In the West, school is often seen as a partnership between the parent and the teacher. Parents are expected to be heavily involved. You get emails from the teacher, you go to PTA meetings, you help with homework that requires building a diorama of the solar system at 10 p.m. on a Sunday. In the Somali context, education is revered, but the roles are more defined. The parent's job is to ensure the child is fed, clothed, and gets to school on time with a respectful attitude. The teacher's job is to teach. There's a deep-seated respect for educators as figures of authority, so a parent would rarely question a teacher's judgment. The family also provides a different kind of education, one centered on religious teachings from the Quran, cultural traditions, and practical life skills. Gender roles also play a significant part in how children are raised and educated. In many Western households, there's a strong push for gender neutrality. In traditional Somali culture, gender roles are more distinct and complementary, shaped by tradition and religious interpretation. Boys are often raised to be future providers and protectors of the family. Girls are typically raised to be nurturers and managers of the household, with each role seen as equally vital to the functioning of the family and community. So why does any of this matter? Because when these two worlds collide in a classroom, a hospital, or a social worker's office, misunderstandings can have serious consequences. A teacher who sees a Somali student being quiet and not making eye contact might assume the child is disengaged, shy, or even has a learning disability. In reality, the child is likely demonstrating respect, just as they were taught. A doctor who asks a Somali mother about her feelings regarding her child's illness might be met with a stoic response, not because the mother doesn't care, but because her culture values resilience over open emotional displays. For educators, understanding these differences is crucial. It means recognizing that a parent's absence at a PTA meeting isn't a sign of neglect, but could be a sign of deference to the teacher's authority. For healthcare and social service providers, the stakes are just as high. A social worker who enters a home and sees an auntie disciplining a child needs to understand the concept of collective parenting before jumping to conclusions. They need to recognize that family decisions, even medical ones, might not be made by the parents alone, but could involve consultation with an elder. Ultimately, this isn't about deciding which parenting style is better. Both have produced generations of successful, loved, and well-adjusted people within their own cultural contexts. The Western focus on individualism fosters innovation and personal freedom. The Somali focus on community creates incredible resilience and powerful social bonds. The real goal is to build a bridge of understanding. For the Somali family, it's about learning to navigate a new system without losing their identity. For the Western educator, doctor, or neighbor, it's about looking past our own cultural lens and seeing the love, intention, and strength that lies at the heart of a different way of raising a child. And that's a lesson we could all stand to learn.